Imagine that you're at the end of your life and you realize that you have not fulfilled all of your assignments. Imagine standing before God and He says to you, these are all the assignments you were given. These are all the assignments you completed. These are all the assignments you did not complete. What are your assignments? Your assignments are those dreams, those goals, those passions that you have. Those are God's vision for you. That's your assignment. What is your assignment? Why haven't you fulfilled your assignment? Is it fear? Hello, my name is Anastasia Robinson. I am the owner of Bright Light Powerhouse, and I wrote a book called Who Stole My Dream? My assignment was to write my book, but fear was what kept me from fulfilling that assignment. As we grow up, or think about this, when we're younger, from kindergarten to high school, we all have assignments. And in order to move to the next level, you have to complete your assignment. So if your assignment is your goal, your dream, your passion, and God has given that to you, why are you not fulfilling it? For me, it was fear. And I knew that I wanted to always be an entrepreneur, and I knew I always wanted to write a book. But I always had an excuse for not fulfilling my assignment. My excuses were, I don't have time. I have more important things to do. I'm scared. Other people are going to look at me and criticize me. There was always an excuse. There was always a distraction. So I finally decided to move forward in what I was being called to do. So I want to give you 3 strategies to determine your assignment, your dream, your goal, your passion. And I use the acronym VIP. See? And VIP is visualize important plans. So let's start with V, visualize. Start with writing the vision. It's the good thing about writing things down is it makes you accountable. It also makes you remember what you want to do. One of the things that I would do is I would write things down. I've always kept a journal. And one of the things that I always managed to do is just, again, it kept me accountable for some of the things that I wanted to do. When it comes to visualization, use your imagination. Younger people, children, they use their imagination all the time. As we get older, we tend to not want to use our imagination because we don't want to get disappointed. I needed to start back using my imagination. I imagined that I was speaking in front of hundreds and eventually thousands of people. So that was my form of visualization. The next step is in regards to VIP, is determine what's important. Ask yourself why. A lot of times you need to be truthful with your why. Why is something important to you? If you're truthful about it, you will find the time to focus on it. Even with me writing the book, I did eventually find more time. And I think probably the biggest thing is that when it comes to your why, we're not always honest. And the third thing, in regards to creating a strategy for your VIP, which is visualize, important, and the last thing is plan. So with plan, I had to write this down, and I actually have to look at it because I wrote down here Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Yes. So planning is an act of faith, commitment, and it's actually just believing God for what he's given you and acting on what he tells you. Now, for me, even with writing this book, one of the things that I had is when I talk about vision, I actually had a vision board. And on that vision board, I wrote the name of my book, Who Stole My Dream? I wrote the name of that book 10 years ago. So it took me over 10 years to get that book done. But it got done. As far as what do you do as far as planning, a lot of times you just have to take small steps in order to move forward in what your plan is. Because even though it took me 10 years, I still worked towards moving in the direction that I was given. So the 3 strategies were visualize, important plans. And what I would like to do is to help you get started on that VIP journey. I actually have a book, as I mentioned, Who Stole My Dream? And in this book, it is a candid guide to making small changes that lead to big results. And I encourage you to read this book. And actually, you can go to the website or use this QR code. And the website is whostole-my-dream.com. I asked a question, what is your assignment? Your assignment is to live your best life. And in the end, you need to score 100%. So, thank you.